So today I'm going to talk to you about how a reading works. Many of you may have had readings. Many of you may not have had readings. Some of you may not have ever wanted to get a reading. But I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what my process is so that you have a sense of how it all plays out, how the magic happens. So you book an appointment online with me, or you call my line and get my husband who helps you book an appointment with me. I know there are folks out there who, when booking, they're like, why is she asking for my name, my telephone number, my email address? Is she going to look me up? I don't look you up. Can you imagine the time it would take to be looking you up, to be getting the information so that I could pass along to you? It's not worth what I'd be making and what I do make during a reading. I'd rather trust them. If I was going to be looking you up, I'd probably be charging a lot more because there's a lot that goes into it. So don't be worrying about that. Once you book your appointment, you come here. When you sit down, I give you my spiel. I let you know about me. I get you comfortable. I want you to know what a reading is all about. The reason being, many of you may not know. This may be your first appointment. If you've had appointments, there's not a lot of readers out there who take the time and really go through how we work, what you can expect. I want you to know that as a medium, I might not be all the way correct. The reason being, I'm trusting your guides, I'm trusting your loved ones. And your loved ones, they don't change all that much from when they are here. So if they offered bad advice here, they're still offering you bad advice from the other side. I want you to know that. I also want you to know that because of their perception, you may not be getting accurate information from me. For example, my husband, he is insistent he's 6 foot. Well, he's gotten a little better, but he thinks he's 6 foot. He'll tell you he was 6 foot in high school. He's 5'10" right now and shrinking. So when he dies, who knows how tall he's going to be. But I'm pretty darn sure he's going to tell a medium he's 6 foot. That's inaccurate information. The medium doesn't know that. They're basing what they're getting on what your loved ones are giving them. So by me explaining this, that helps you understand that this is where you can expect from us. Because I lay down tarot cards, I want you to know a little bit about them. I don't want you to be caught off guard if you see the death card. I don't want you to freak out. I've had people freak out. I've had people freak out after I've told them that there's a death card in there. And that's not fun for them. It's not fun for me. And I want you to be comfortable. A reading should be an enjoyable experience. You should walk away uplifted. You should be hopeful. And that's why I take some time at the beginning of every session to go through those things. And then I start talking, as most readers do. Some may have a short spiel, mine's a little bit longer. Why I always book a half an hour between readings, so that I know that I have time to go through that and be educating each and every single one of you. And when I'm talking, you can talk to your guides and your loved ones in your head. You can ask them questions. You can ask me questions. I always ask that you don't give me too much information. Don't give me too much fodder. I want you to really believe that what I am receiving is from them and not from just what you have shared with me. And so I always say keep it to a minimum because it's a little less authentic if you've told me your whole life story. But at the same point, if you have questions, stop and interrupt me. You can do that with most readers. Interruptions and questions are great. Also know, and I always chuckle, when my client will be telling a loved one, or me to tell their loved one rather, they'll say, can you tell my mom that I love her? I'm like, your mom just heard you. You don't have to tell me to tell her. Your connection, your direct communication with them is as strong as my communication is with them. They hear you. You might not hear them as well, but they hear you. Just because you don't doesn't mean they can't. So you can speak to them at any time. And when you're asking me questions, you can ask them questions. Doesn't mean they're going to give me the answer. There's been times where people will ask questions and I'll just say, you know what, they're not telling me, they don't want to talk about that. It's no different than when they're here. Your loved ones, They avoid conversation topics while they're here. They avoid it on the other side. It's human nature. It's like my husband this morning. We were talking about bringing lunch to the office. I asked him the question because he didn't know what he wanted. He avoids the conversation. And finally it's just like, well, I don't know. And your loved ones on the other side have those same responses. Again, we don't change all that much. And that's what you can expect from a reading. That's how I operate. When you have questions for your loved ones, for your guides, ask. I mean, don't book a half an hour reading and expect to go to the hour. But do ask the questions. It is something where a lot of readers, if you have a question or two, they're going to honor it. They're going to say, okay, let's see what we can get about this. Although you may have a dying desire to know. For your guides, chances are it wasn't quite as important, or your loved ones, it wasn't quite as important, but they'll still try to bring you that answer. I know I always do, and it might say, I'm sorry, I don't have more on that. And usually folks are like, you know what, that just makes sense. So guys, I hope that puts you at a little bit at ease for what you can expect from a reading and how my readings flow. That's it for today, guys. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends. If you have topics you'd like to see covered, put them in the comments below. And I will be talking to you tomorrow. And you are all mediums.